Our Heavenly Father, we have gathered here today to talk about that one time my best friend hooked up with my ex. Okay, so I'm gonna leave names out of this story, but it's a juicy story nonetheless. So my ex and I broke up around March this one year. Things just weren't going well, so we kind of like split it off sort of mutually in a way. One of my best friends, I've had multiple best friends, so there's like 5 of them roaming around the world like little mini me's. But my best friend at the time decided that he was going to sort of befriend my ex, and in a way he kind of made my ex like his little project, because at the time my ex wasn't like the most social person. For some reason my best friend was like, I'm gonna kind of like, I don't know, like uplift him after our breakup or whatever. So they're becoming friends, and I wasn't really thinking too much of it because I was like pretty much done with the relationship at this point. I wasn't thinking too much of it, and I think like a month or two goes by, and my ex and I had this like falling out through text because I was hanging out with another ex of mine, just platonically. I see y'all's dirty minds thinking. So he decided he needed to talk. So we went for a walk on the beach, and we came to the conclusion that we would be friends, and that's all we'd be. And I wasn't going to lead him on or make him believe that I was leading him on. I tried inviting him to hang out during the summer with some of the orientation leaders, because I was an orientation leader at the time. But he didn't know any of them, so he was like, I'm not, like, I don't want to, whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. Well, one night, my friend Hillary and I were watching a movie, and after the movie, she went to bed. I was still in my room, and I got a phone call, and it said my ex's name. For the purpose of this video, we're going to name my ex Voldemort and my best friend Draco Malfoy. So I get a phone call from Voldemort, and I'm like, why is he calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning? And he's like, Bruno, Draco isn't talking to me. And I was like, why is he not talking to you? Like, you two have been like pretty close for the past few months. Well, we've been hooking up. That's when my face turned to this. I was like, It wasn't a surprise to me, but I mean, whatever. So it got really juicy at this moment. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So what's going on? Well, I told. Well, I told Draco that the only reason why I had sex with him was to get back at you. Me in the moment. I was so ecstatic. Like, this was the juiciest news I had heard all summer long. Like, I was waiting for it. But for some reason, I went to RA mode, so I was really calm and I was very helpful. And I was like, okay, so why don't you think he'll talk to you? And he was like, he's like pacing outside and he's really mad, but he won't come back up and talk to me. I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, knowing Draco, he's really pissed off at you right now. He probably won't talk to you for 2 or 3 days. Don't do too much to upset him because he might punch you in the face. But other than that, he'll be fine. He'll get over it. And he was like freaking out with the phone. So I get off the phone with Voldemort, and I texted my friend Hillary, and I was like,
Hillary, you won't believe what just happened. Voldemort texted me that he was hooking up with Draco, and then told Draco that he was hooking up with him to get back at me.
I could not go to sleep that night. Like, I was thrilled. Now, most people would be really upset, but I wasn't. I just thought it was really funny. Hold on, wait. I need a Sour Patch break. Hold on. Are you on? Oh, okay. Okay, back to the story. So the next day, I text Draco and I'm like, yeah, so let's talk. And so I meet him outside, bring him into my room. And literally within the first minute, we were perfectly fine. I was like, okay, so I know you and Voldemort hooked up, and I kind of figured it was going to happen eventually. That's how the gay community works. And I was like, the only thing I wish is that you would have told me yourself. It's not my business, but also as my best friend, I would expect you to relay that information to me, even though I don't care. And then he was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, okay, bro, let's go hit up the clubs. Now, speaking with Voldemort was a different story, because as far as I know, we were supposed to be best friends, or not best friends, but we were supposed to be friends. And for him to want to get back at me through my best friend showed me that we weren't friends, like we were never going to be. So, you know, we met up and I was like, look, I don't care if you like knock the boots with Draco. The problem here is that we were supposed to be friends, and I thought we were friends until you did something to my best friend to get back at me. And that's when he was like, well, you know, I didn't think we were friends. You were never like trying to hang out with me. And I was like, wait. I invited you a few times to hang out with me in the orientation leaders and you declined. What else am I supposed to do? I'm busy, I'm working, I can't like hang out with you. He was like, well, you led me on, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we've already had this discussion. And he was like, you know what? You're just like, you're a bitch, you're selfish, you only care about yourself, you have a big ego, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. You don't have to be friends with me. He was like, but I think we should like try being friends. I was like, this is not how it works. You don't get to call me all these things and then say we should be friends. Like, you shouldn't want to be friends with someone if you think that they have like a big ego, that they're a bitch, that they're selfish and all these other things. Like, why are you wanting to be friends with this person if you feel so negative towards them? If that's me, then why do you want to be friends with me? Make the long story short, we weren't friends for a really long time. We eventually started like hanging out again. Well, we somehow like rekindled a friendship, and a friendship only. But we were able to like sit down and talk about that time. He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, like I did that to you. But I was like, oh, wait, Voldemort. Let's be real. That was the most exciting night of that summer. But luckily now all three of us are friends. And we have made it past those dark times. But moral of the story is, don't ever hook up with your ex's best friend. And don't ever do it to be malicious. It doesn't really end well. Well, you know what? I'm not really sure how to end it, so I'm just gonna stuff my face with some Sour Patch Kids. Thank you guys so much for watching my dramatic storytime video about my ex and my best friend. I'm going to be releasing a new video every week, so subscribe if you feel my vibe. Other than that, have a great night. Oh, and make sure to check out all my other stuff too. Love you. Bye. I got tweet. Thank you for watching.